We welcome him into the Mark and Rich Show, Extra 1360, Fox Sports San Diego. Coach, thanks for coming on. We're marinating on bracket picks right now. Do you have any wisdom for us?
I have no wisdom on that. My goodness, these games are so hard to pick. You know, you look at the names, and sometimes you get caught up in the names, but you really don't know the personnel because how much basketball can you possibly watch? So sometimes it's matchups. Maybe you play well against a certain type of team, and then all of a sudden you're against a pressing team. So it's a really hard tournament to call, and that's why you see so many brackets busted in the first weekend.
Is there, in just your travels and watching teams without looking at the matchups, are there a couple teams that have sort of from a talent perspective stood out to you this year?
You know, I've seen UCLA a lot, and I love UCLA. I think they're as dangerous of an offensive team as there is in the country. So it's whether they can get their defense to match. Obviously, Duke and North Carolina are both playing well right now. Gonzaga has been phenomenal all season. To lose one game and to play the way they're playing, I think they've got to be, as much as it's strange to say, a first round or a top-tiered team to be a dark horse. I don't think people around the country still believe in Gonzaga the way I do.
Coach, when you sit down and you watch some of March Madness, is there going to be a part of you that stings a little bit being on the couch instead of on the court?
Oh, it's always hard. You know, we had a stretch where we went for 6 straight years, and I think there were only 8 teams in the country that had been that many times. So we were blessed to be on a real good streak, and now the last 2 have been disappointing not to be in there. Maybe more so, obviously, a year ago when we were 16-2 in the conference and couldn't play our way in based on our preseason exhibition schedule, that type of thing. So, yeah, it's disappointing, but it's just motivation because we know what it tastes like, we know what it feels like, and we know what has to be done to get back there. And so we're doing everything we can starting as soon as the season ended to find our way back into that NCAA bracket next year.
Let's talk about those things for a second, Coach. Coach Brian Dutcher, Associate Head Coach over at San Diego State, joining us on the Mark and Rich Show. The future of the program. What things are you guys looking to do in the immediate term? And I mean that also even, with regard to the staff. We know Coach Fisher is already sounding like he very much has plans to come back next year, but how do you see the next, 3-4 years playing out with the program?
You know, we like the kids we've recruited. You know, we beat a lot of really good schools to get them. So it's our responsibility to those young men to continue to get them better, to grow their games. I think anybody that's been an Aztec basketball fan realizes that over the years we've won with 4th and 5th year seniors. We've won with experience. So sometimes we may play younger teams with more perceived talent and NBA talent, but because of our experience, we've won games. So hopefully that, in a way, leads into a good season next year. We'll have Trey Kell Sr., we'll have hopefully Malik Pope Sr., Zylan Cheatham 4th year junior, we'll have Jeremy Hensley Jr., we had Devin Watson sitting out last year, will be a 3rd year, 4th year junior. So we've got great depth and experience. So hopefully that, along with the pieces we add, will be the difference in putting us back on top next year.
And you guys will graduate some seniors. Obviously, you'd be looking to sort of recruit more of those great players you mentioned. Speaking of which, Lonzo Ball at UCLA, LeVar, when you were on the recruiting trail a couple of years ago, did you ever meet LeVar Ball?
No, I just saw him in the stands. Obviously, he was very animated and sitting courtside like any parent would be, enjoying watching his 3 sons play.
Yeah.
And so obviously he's enthusiastic about his sons, and I think the main thing that I see in the whole thing is it doesn't affect Lonzo's play. You know, LeVar seems to be a separate entity than Lonzo. Lonzo focuses on the floor. You never see him caught up in any of these distractions, and good or bad, he's been able to put it all aside and just play basketball at the highest level possible. So I think he's a fantastic player and done a great job dealing with all this.
You said something there, and I hate to parse language, but distractions. Lonzo is good at blocking out distractions. Do you consider what his dad's doing a distraction to what he should be concentrating on, which is basketball, his son's success, stuff like that?
You know, I think we look at it as a one-year capsule, like, wow, look at what's happening at UCLA this year. This dad has always been enthusiastic about his sons. So whether it was from their middle school days through junior high, through high school, I think they're used to this kind of motivation from their father. So this is not a one-year deal where all of a sudden everybody else is shocked by it. I think the dad has been this way his entire life, and he's cares about his boys, and he thinks this is the best way to get them ready. And so obviously, who's to argue with him right now at the level his son plays at? So it's, and I know we always, as coaches, we look at parents, and obviously, you always say parents have a different view of their children, and that includes us as parents. So, Lonzo's done a great job of playing basketball at UCLA. He's put him in a great position to make hopefully a deep run in this year's NCAA tournament.
Brian Dutcher, Aztec basketball, joining us, Extra 1360. Coach, we know that this big Mission Valley discussion and how does it affect San Diego State? How can they be involved? We know that a lot more of that talk is about the football program than the basketball program. But wonder if you have an opinion on what you see, how that should play out, what you'd like to see happen for San Diego State's involvement over there.
I think anything that benefits San Diego State in the long run is great for the city of San Diego. And I know there's a lot of great minds that work on this, including at this end with John David Wicker, our athletic director, is in talks almost daily on the plans for Mission Valley. And so we've just got to make sure we side with the best plan. And so whatever that is, I leave that to them. I'm not privy to any of those conversations, but I think definitely San Diego State will have a footprint in there when it's all said and done.
FS Investors, the group that's announcing their Soccer City plans, obviously has signature seekers out today. Will you sign and support their plan?
I don't know. I'm going to have to listen to you guys a little more on the radio and find out if it's the best one.
Well, you know what? We got the details of that coming up here next. But before we let you go, Coach, and again, very much appreciate you coming on. Don't want any elephant in the room type thoughts for our listeners as they go away from hearing this conversation. So I ask this with the utmost respect on all sides. You've been dubbed the coach in waiting. How long you waiting?
I'm waiting until the guy across the hallway says he's had enough. So I think the thing that Coach Fisher is, if you see him work daily, the passion is there. It hasn't waned at all. The work ethic and the desire to put San Diego State on top and keep it on top. Like he said, we're not a team, we're a program. And so because of that, I think we're in solid footing. I think the program will move forward. Obviously, it was a stumble this year, but this is not about one team. This is about a program that's been established over 18 years here. So I think we can all rest assured that Coach Fisher has done enough to leave on his own terms when he feels that he's had enough. He will let us all know, but it's not a question that anybody ever asks him in the office.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't imagine so. Are you willing to hang out as long as that may be, no matter what?
Well, no matter what, I mean, if he goes 10 more up into he's 81, I think that might be a little long. So hopefully it'll be somewhere in the middle there. But like I said, I feel good in the fact it's something that I helped build. I've been here all 18 years, and I've been with Coach, obviously, for 28. So I feel like I have my fingerprints on this, and that there are other jobs always out there, but none that I desire more than this one. And so the university's made a commitment to me, and that makes me feel good about what we've done with this program. And I'm looking to honor my commitment to the university and try to keep this program on top when the time comes when Coach says he's had enough.
Coach, great stuff. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you so much.
All right, there goes Brian Dutcher, Associate Head Coach, San Diego State, coach in waiting.